Hey, what's up? This is Matt Dietz, and this is Agency Launch. This is the podcast where I tell you everything that I know about running an insurance agency after running one for 17 years. My agency is a little unique. I run a 4,300 policy agency with just 2 licensed professionals and myself, and we grow every year. So I want to teach you everything that I have learned and everything that I continue to learn in this journey, and that's why I do this. Also, if you go to agencylaunch.net, you will find my full-blown training course. And since you are awesome and you are listening to my podcast, I'm going to give you 10% off of everything in there. So just type in podcast and you will get a discount to that course or any course that you'd like to purchase in there. So check it out at agencylaunch.net. All right, what's up? So today I wanted to talk about some marketing and an opportunity that I have and how it's playing out. So I want to kind of let you in my head and help you understand kind of what I go through when it comes down to if I want to put my money behind some marketing or not. So I've talked about it before, but I'm not a big fan of like passive marketing. Marketing that is going to be, sitting on a billboard or a grocery cart or a magazine or, throwing my mug out there with my phone number, hoping that people are going to, see it and call me to buy insurance. It's never worked for me. I don't think I would ever get my money back, ever. Even if I'm a huge agent and I have thousands of clients, and I put my name up somewhere, and I thought back when I was a younger agent that I would be able to, I'd want to do stuff like that when I'm seasoned and larger, because it would trigger my current clients to see it and be like, hey, look, there's Matt. Oh, I have to call him, but it's not worth the cost. It's expensive to do that. And social media is out there, and you can get the same effect by building a social media following, right? So for free. So I want to walk you through something that I've been approached with. I have a current client. He owns a real estate business in town, and he's got hundreds of brokers that work for him. This is a good strategic, professional friendship I have with this gentleman, and I sponsored an event that he did last year, and I went and set up a booth and got 7 minutes in front of all the people and stuff like that. And he's come back this year and said, hey Matt, do you want to sponsor this event? It's a training seminar. And I said, yeah, let me see what you got. And so he sent it to me, and I'm looking at it, and so what am I going to get from this, right? So I want to get some name recognition. I want to get in front of this company again so that they can see them, not so that I can get back in front of the same people I've been in front of before. That's how you brand, right? People are like, oh my God, there's that guy. He did this last year for us, But that doesn't drive business. That doesn't drive a lot of business either. It takes years to do this kind of stuff. So I want to drive business today, right? I'm like, how am I going to write business today? If I sponsor this event, am I going to make my money back? That's all I care about. So the event is a sales seminar. It's a wicked sales seminar. It's like a 4-day intense sales seminar, which sounds appealing to me. For starters, it costs $1,000 for a ticket to get into this thing. And so I asked some questions. I was like, all right, cool. This is awesome that you're doing this for your team and yada, yada. He wants 100 people to sign up for this event. And he's about halfway there, and the event is in about a month. So he said, hey, Matt, do you want to be one of the lead sponsors? You'll get a booth, for lunch and a little bit before and after lunch. And I'll get you, 6 or 7 minutes on stage in front of everybody. And he's like, we'll promote you on mailers that are going out and social media and stuff like that. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I take a look at all that, and kind of here are my initial thoughts on what was laid out in front of me. So if I am just given that opportunity, I'm not going to make my money back. It's $3,500 for this sponsorship. And I'm thinking about that. And I got to tell you that when I started my business back 17 years ago, I didn't have any money. I wasn't making any money, and I didn't have any money. Okay. So I made it, right? And so how did I sell business in the first few years without any money? Well, you guys can learn all that in my course and listen to my podcast and stuff like that. But I've never had a large marketing budget ever, because I've never needed one. Okay. I never needed a marketing budget. Okay. $3,500 might not be what I spend all year in marketing. Okay. And that's just the fact. So I could do it, but I'm not going to do it because I can. That's dumb. Right. So I'm never going to change the way that I run my business. Like, if I'm going to put money out there, I need to have a return. So I do the math. I'm like, all right, how many policies do I have to write to make up for this? I figured I'd have to write 30 policies, and it would take 2 years for me to make it back. Okay. Because I get about $60 a policy. Okay. I'm going to make $1,800, and then I'll lose a little bit on it on retention. And then I'll make that again next year. That's going to take me 2 years to make up, unless I sell a big fat, life policy or a commercial policy. And these guys are realtors. Okay. They don't have big businesses. So I'm looking for personal lines here. So I keep running numbers in my head, and I'm like, how many people do I have to quote? How many policies do I have to quote to write 30 policies? I'd have to quote probably about 100 policies to write 30, based on my closing ratio. And, the room's going to probably have 70 to 80 people in it. Okay. So I have to quote, a quarter of the household. And so running an event like this, it's my experience that, I might get 10, if I'm really hustling and really going after people, I might get 10 or 15 people, to agree to a quote. Because you have a booth like this, not many people are coming to booths like this. You're just kind of there in the background. Not a lot of people are approaching, an insurance booth in a sales seminar, and I would get some time on stage, and I could do a raffle and I could do a drawing, but that would increase my expense and things like that. So I try to, he also said, look, Matt, if you can essentially work your network, Matt, and you can get more people to come to this event, maybe we can do something about the cost. I was like, all right, that's interesting, because I know a lot of people in town that are in sales, a lot. I'm very good at networking, and I know a lot of salespeople in town. And so I could reach out to all of the realtors that I know, and those realtors all know realtors, right? They all work in a shop. So I could call all the realtors that I know and say, hey, there's this great training coming up. Can you get this in front of your broker or whatever, and see how many people are interested in going? I could send them information. I know mortgage people. This is not a realtor-based sales seminar. It's a sales seminar. So I know a lot of insurance people. I know a lot of realtors. I know a lot of mortgage people. I know some financial services people. I know a lot of people. And so I asked Nick. I said, Nick, is there anything? I was just being honest with him. I was like, look, buddy, I love what you're doing with your company, and I'm a big fan of yours, and I like supporting you because you're doing a heck of a job with your company here. I said, but let me just run the numbers by you. And I ran the numbers by him, the same numbers I just shared with you. I said, in order for me to be successful and to make this worth it, this is what has to happen. I've got to sell this many policies, to pay for it. And so I was like, it'd be really helpful is if you could email all of your agents, all 400 of your agents, and encourage them to get a quote from me, say something along the lines of, hey, Matt's going to sponsor our event. He's been a big proponent of our business here. He does a good job. He's my agent. I want to support local. I want you to support local. Matt supported us a number of times in the past. Would you please reach out to Matt for a quote on your home and auto? If that email goes out to 400 agents and I get a chance to quote, a percentage of them, even 10%, and I quote 40, I'd be happy with that, right? So I was like, I think this is a good trade-off. And so I asked that to him, and then that's still in the open. I haven't heard on if that's something that's gonna happen, but I just wanted to walk you through kind of my mindset on what it would take. And I think when it comes to stuff like this, to ask for business like that, for a sponsorship, I think is fair. I think it's reasonable, and we'll see what happens. So he got me in front of his sponsorship team. He's got people that are running this event for him. He's like, all right, why don't you talk to these two and see what we can figure out. So right now I'm in the middle of kind of negotiating and figuring out what that looks like. And I emailed the team. I was like, hey, I'm still interested in doing this. I said, I'm happy to reach out to my network, which is pretty rich here in town, and see how many people I can get, to come to this event. What can you do for me on the $3,500? And I'm waiting to hear back from them. So I just wanted to walk you through what my mindset is. And honestly, I'm probably going to attend this event. I'm probably going to go and spend 4 days. I'm going to get way more value if I plunk down $1,000 and sit through a 4-day sales seminar, than if I spend $3,500 sponsoring. I'm going to become a better professional. I'm going to become better at sales, and I'm going to be around the same people for 4 days, and maybe I'll start some relationships there and have an opportunity to earn business from people that I'm spending 4 days with. So that's kind of my mindset when it comes to stuff like this. So I might even bring someone from my office to go through sales training, and I could support him that way by selling a couple of tickets that way, and then see if I can get the opportunity. If they're going to drop the price on the sponsorship, and I can get X amount of people and I can sell some tickets for him, maybe I can go to the event and sponsor it, which would be pretty cool too. So my ultimate goal, I don't know how much they're willing to come down, but if I sold 10 tickets, would they waive the $3,500, and I could sponsor the event and attend the event? So that's kind of what I'm aiming for. So we'll see what happens. And that's what I got for you today. I just wanted to kind of walk you through how I approach these things. And whether I do this or not, I don't have to do this, but this is a good way to get in front and support local businesses and meet more people. Okay. But from a cost standpoint, I'm always very cautious of my outgoing marketing dollars, and this is kind of how I protect them. So my name is Matt. This is Agency Launch. You can find me all over the place. I'm on LinkedIn. You can go to agencylaunch.net, check out my training course. Send me a text, 208-213-8809, and get in my texting community. And I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Dietz Agency. Check it all out. Thank you so much for listening. Keep up the good work.